Hey guys, Elizabeth here, and welcome to our dog training advent calendar. Today you're going to need your dog, you're going to need some treats, and today we're going to be teaching our dogs what to do when they hear the doorbell ring or somebody knock on the door. So you're going to want to have a sound in mind, something that you can play over and over to the dogs to practice this behavior. If you're going to use a doorbell, I like to use my cell phone, so you want to have that handy, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, today our training session is going to be about desensitizing our dogs to sounds, especially like the doorbell and the door knock, because so often our dogs hear that doorbell or the door knock and they just start barking and running to the door. So we want to teach them today to listen to the sound without barking. So it's called desensitizing. Yeah. I have both of my dogs here today because there's nowhere that they can be in the house where one hears the sound and the other doesn't. So I want them to both hear the sound and both be training today. So that's good. Good? Okay. So first you want to figure out what sound you're going to be desensitizing to today. You can use, I like to use just a doorbell or a door knock. My dogs tend to be a little bit more reactive to the door knock than to the doorbell. That's what they tend to hear more often. So we're going to work on a knock. So we're just going to knock on the wall today, okay? So when I knock on this wall, it sounds a lot like the door when somebody knocks on the front door, right? At least it does to the doggies, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I've got treats ready. I've got 2 treats, one for each dog. I'm gonna knock quietly. I'm gonna knock really quietly on the wall. I wanna knock just loud enough that they hear it, but not so loud that they start barking, okay? So I'm gonna knock really quietly and then give treats. Good? So you notice Keegan especially, he put his ears back when he heard that knock. He's trying to figure out where the noise is coming from. So that tells me that I don't need to go any louder than that. I want to go really quiet. Just knock on the door, on the wall. Silly girl. Good. Okay. So just knock. Give them the treat really quickly. And then I'm waiting for them to kind of settle down again before I knock again. Okay. You see Keegan is kind of looking around the room trying to still figure out where that knock is coming from. If I were to go ahead and knock again, he would be more likely to react and more likely to bark, even if I'm knocking this quietly. So I'm going to wait just a second, maybe give him a couple more treats, let him settle down. I like practicing this with my dogs in a down, especially if they're more reactive to sounds. So Keegan's doing a good job there. Okay. So just a quiet little knock. Quiet little knock. Good boy. Okay, do it a few more times. And then we should see that each time Keegan gets a little bit less interested in the sound, a little bit less thinking about getting up and barking and trying to figure out where that sound is coming from. Should see that. Can you lay down? Good job, buddy. Okay. So knock and immediately give a treat. Now I'm not knocking and testing, is he gonna bark? And if he barks, I'll give him a treat? No, I'm just giving him a treat. So I want him to start thinking, when you hear that knock, you're gonna get a cookie, okay? You are. So we're gonna let him settle down just a second. I know, this is so fun. There was a sound outside, maybe a car outside that they heard there. Yeah, is that it? So I'm able to get a little bit louder with the knock, as you can tell. Yeah. So especially as they're learning the game and they're learning, I'm just going to get a cookie if I just sit here. Nice. And again, all I want them to learn is when you hear a knock, you're going to get a cookie. Sound as close to possible is what it sounds like when somebody knocks on your door. People don't knock like that. We don't knock like that. No. keeping it just loud enough that they hear it, but not so loud that they start to bark, right? So if you knock and your dogs do bark, and you want to get them back, calm them down, do a little relaxing massage or give them some treats. When they're calm, then knock again, but quieter. So much, much quieter. Always err on the side of too quiet. Even if I think they can handle it, if it's a little louder, I'm gonna go very slowly, keep it really quiet. So it's okay. What you can do next is try and distract them a little bit when you knock, so that maybe they don't see it. Or do it when they're kind of least expecting it. But always have your treats ready though. That's the most important thing, because you want to be able to give them those treats really quick right after they hear that knock. Good? Okay. Alright, now we can do the same desensitization with a doorbell. It's the same as what we just did. We're going to start with the sound as quiet as we can, where the dogs just hear it but don't bark, and then gradually make the sound louder. Okay, so that means that you can't practice with the doorbell on your door, because it's as loud as it's gonna get. You can't make it quieter, unless you can figure out how to make it really quiet. I don't know. But what I like to do is practice the sounds on my phone. All right, so on YouTube, you can find lots and lots of videos of doorbell sounds. So I like to just pull up one of those videos. So we're gonna start with it really quiet. And then hear the doorbell, you get a treat. And it's just gonna keep playing through. Another one. Okay, so you see, they're not really noticing that doorbell sound, not like they did with the door knock earlier. So I'm going to turn up a little few notches. It helps if you can find a doorbell sound that sounds a lot like your doorbell at home too. You see they're barely even reacting to the sound. They're definitely not thinking about barking at this one, so that's good. That's good. That's where we want it to be. At that point, then we want to try and make it a little louder still. So I like to set it up with a Bluetooth speaker that makes it a lot louder. Or do like what we were talking about with the door knock, is play that sound at times when they least expect it. So play the sound and then be ready to hand them a treat. Good? Yeah? So our goal is not that they don't hear the sound, and not that we distract them away from the sound after they hear it, but we want them to hear the sound and think, oh, I'm going to get a treat for that, and then come to you to get a treat. Okay? Isn't that better than running and barking at the door? Yes, it is. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that session. If you did, please feel free and click like and subscribe down at the bottom of the video. Please also comment with anything that you liked, that you didn't like, anything you'd like to see in the future. I'd love to hear your comments. And definitely be sure to share this with a friend, anybody that you think might benefit from these training sessions. Alrighty, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for our next episode of the Dog Training Advent Calendar. See you then.